We've got some breaking news out of the NFL where the Cincinnati Bengals have placed the franchise tag on Tee Higgins for the second straight season. The Cincy wideout confirmed the news with a tweet that simply says, quote, tag, end quote. Nice and simple. Higgins is coming off of an impressive year, 73 catches for 911 yards and 10 touchdowns, despite missing 5 games. Now, under the franchise tag, he's set to make $26.2 million next season. The Bengals will now have until mid-July to work out an extension with Tee Higgins before that tag becomes official. We mentioned it before, his post on X saying tag, period, and that's it from Tee Higgins on that. Let's welcome in our two-time Super Bowl champ, B-Mac. B-Mac, we've been, hearing about this for a very long time with the Bengals. Tee Higgins, Jamar Chase, Trey Hendrickson trying to get all of that worked out. This is the first thing that we're seeing here with the Bengals officially placing that franchise tag on Tee Higgins. Your initial reaction to this first piece of the puzzle where we're likely to see some other things fall into place for Cincinnati?
My initial reaction is I'm surprised. I am overly surprised. Number one, they just tagged Tee Higgins last year. Number two, Tee Higgins put forth everything he needed to do in terms of production, was the most coveted player that would be available. So clearly that would be a nice, big-time heavy market for him, and they tag him again. So the more alarming thing for me is Jamar Chase wants to be paid as well. He wants to be paid, and Jamar Chase probably will receive a deal per year-wise close to $40 million, if not more. So what is Cincinnati doing, and how are they thinking logically in terms of the finances? Because if you're Tee Higgins, this tag is 26.2. So you're basically, we got to start negotiating anywhere between 28 to 30. That's the bottom mark when you look at the most recent deals in per year annual value. So if I'm Tee Higgins, no. Because if Tee Higgins would have been available as a free agent, it's safe to say he would have received $30+ million easily because of the inflation, and it's always about the timing. So if you see Justin Jefferson getting 35, if I'm Tee Higgins, that's where I'm shooting. That's the number I'm shooting for. And if I'm Jamar Chase, because of the triple crown type of year he had in 2024, I'm shooting well north of 35. So if you're Cincinnati Bengals, if you're the Cincinnati Bengals, you have to understand and know for sure you can pay Tee Higgins and most importantly pay Jamar Chase. And I forgot, they try to play defense. So eventually you want to try to play Trey Hendrickson as well because he was disgruntled a year ago. So I don't know exactly how this is going to work out, but it's hard to say, Jacqueline, that it's a tough day for Tee Higgins when he just got guaranteed to see 26.2. But then if you look at the entire landscape of what he could receive if he was a free agent, then you understand that it is a tough day for Tee Higgins.
Yeah, and his post on X, it was very simple. He just said tag, and that was it. So it looks like, I don't know, not all that excited. You mentioned Jamar Chase. You mentioned the Bengals trying to play defense, and they have Trey Hendrickson to figure that all out with as well. And the Bengals have been very clear. They want to try to lock in all of these guys, and Joe Burrow saying that's what I want too, which again, don't we all want all of those nice things? But logistically, what do you think this does mean for Jamar Chase moving forward and Trey Hendrickson, because we just showed the money there with wide receivers and Justin Jefferson getting 35 mil. Let's start with Jamar Chase. What does this mean for him moving forward?
I mean, me personally, I think Jamar Chase is the first priority. Like, nothing should move until number one receives the deal that he's looking for. You would have paid him less if you would have paid him last summer. But because of how well he played, he earned more financial leverage based on where the numbers are currently located at the wide receiver position. So if I'm Jamar Chase, you can go ahead and tag whoever you want to tag and say whatever you want to say, but I'm not doing what I did last year. Because, Jacqueline, it's safe to say Jamar Chase, he compromised, right? They told him they would pay him around a year ago. That didn't happen. He held out. He was disgruntled, but he compromised. He came in and he was the ultimate professional on and off the football field, and he put forth a record-type year. So now it's compensation over conversation. In the words of the great American poet, Lil Wayne, I'm not doing any talking. You just got to pay me. So Jamar Chase is a made man. Because I can tell you this much, I don't know who is advising Jamar Chase, but if I'm not paid, I'm not stepping foot anywhere close to the facility because you know my worth, you know what I can do, and I compromised a year ago. So me personally, I think Jamar Chase is set and settled to what he should get, and he should be paid whatever it is he's looking to receive. And like I said, clearly that will be north of $35 million per year.
All right, B-Mac, we certainly appreciate it. If you're just joining us here on HQ, we're talking about that breaking news out of the NFL where the Cincinnati Bengals have franchise tagged Tee Higgins for a second straight year. Getting a look at some upcoming dates in the NFL. The franchise/transition tag deadline, that is tomorrow, March 4th. Negotiating period, March 10th through the 12th. And then free agency officially starts on March 12th as well at 4 Eastern time. And then, of course, since the combine is in the rearview mirror, we are all looking ahead to the NFL draft taking place in Green Bay, Wisconsin on April 24th.